Smash that like and subscribe button as well as hit that notification icon so you get all the latest content updates from the channel. What's going on YouTube? This is Marcus J. Witherspoon back here at you again with another 717 short clip video. In today's video, we are going to be covering Errol Spence Jr. and yordenis Ugas agreeing to fight early next year in 2022. A date and venue has not been selected yet from what I've been reading, but the fight is agreed upon. All that other stuff will be hashed out here in the near future, so we'll definitely keep updated on that. Before we delve into this video, once again, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button as well as hit that notification icon so you get all the latest content updates to the channel. So once again, Errol Spence Jr. has agreed to fight yordenis Ugas for 3 welterweight title belts up for grabs. Obviously, Errol Spence's WBC and IBF welterweight title belts that he owns, and yordenis Ugas' WBA welterweight title belt. A lot of fans are upset with Errol Spence for taking this fight as opposed to fighting Terrence Crawford to unify the WBO belt, as opposed to unifying this WBA belt that yordenis Ugas has. But as I said in the conversation with my cousin Man, who's also co-host of this show and channel, I wanted to see this fight first for the simple fact is that obviously it's still 3 belts that are going to be up for grab. We're getting a unification fight. yordenis Ugas has proved that he's obviously no slouch. He's one of the best in the world at welterweight. And even though this may not be the dream fight between Crawford and Spence that we want, there's always a meaning, underlying meaning to some of these fighters and to some of these fights. And for me, the underlying meaning, and I told this to Man before, and I'm telling to you guys, is that Errol Spence is setting up for the Terrence Crawford fight. He's setting it up, whether you want to believe me or you don't. He's setting it up, and the reason why I say this is because now, I mean, everybody knows the whole goal for both of these fighters, for any fighter in each division, is to be undisputed world champion. So by Errol Spence getting this fight out the way with yordenis Ugas, if he can become victorious, now it's a big if, and I'll explain here in a minute why that's a big if. But if he does defeat yordenis Ugas, then we get no excuses, none whatsoever, as to why Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford can't fight and unify the belts. Errol Spence will obviously have 3 championships. The only one that's left would be Terrence Bud Crawford's belt, the WBO belt. And I honestly, and people could say, oh, Marcus, you're just, an Errol Spence fan, so you're being biased. No, guys, I'm just being honest, speaking from the heart here. I honestly believe that he's setting this up. He hears the chatter. He hears all those people talking. He hears it. He hears us. Hell, I'm even one who said, and I'm a big Errol Spence fan, I'm even one who said, I don't know. The way he got up after that fight, after watching Terrence Bud Crawford knock out Sean Porter the way he did, the way he just walked up and didn't really have much to say when people were asking him about fighting Bud Crawford, did I sit there and start getting a little nervous that my guy is getting a little shook? Yeah. But then, when this fight got announced, I said everything is happening how I kind of thought in my head it would happen. He's going to come out of this injury, take what is so-called the easier fight first, but at the same time, there's a championship belt to unify. So he's going to take this fight first, knock that ring rust off, hope to win in the process, and look good doing so, or at least look like, okay, he's still Errol Spence. He just looked a little rusty because obviously the time off. So that when he does, later on in 2022, hopefully, go to fight Terrence Bud Crawford, like I said, now there's no excuses. And I honestly think that's what he's setting this up for. And there will be no excuses because you done came back, you fought a top fighter, you beat a top fighter, you got another belt. Now you're coming in at what we would hope to be your best against Bud Crawford. The ring rust will be worn off a good bit. You know, you'll be back in training consistently, etc., etc. And most importantly, hopefully, barring any setbacks, you'll be coming in healthy. So this is why I believe that everybody's panicking for no reason. Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford will fight in 2022. They will fight in 2022. It will be in the fall, I believe. I believe they will fight in the fall, barring any setbacks. Now, why I mentioned earlier, this is a big if. If Errol Spence can beat yordenis Ugas. One, yordenis Ugas is a very good fighter. He is. He may not be that exciting, powerful knockout artist that we all love to see. He may not be the flashiest fighter we like to see. But he's very well-rounded. He's got very good skills, pretty good damn defense. He's pretty hard to hit, as most Cuban fighters are. They have a very good background of being defensive fighters and good boxing pedigree. This is not going to be an easy fight for Errol Spence, especially coming off of an injury. That's the biggest reason why I say this is a big if for Errol Spence, because he is coming off of an injury. He's coming off of layoff, so he hasn't been training. He's going to have to get in shape. Not saying he's not in shape now, but he's obviously got to get back into boxing shape, fighting shape. And Ugas has been active. And once again, he's no slouch. He could very well upset Errol Spence. It's not impossible. It's not impossible at all, especially given the fact that Errol Spence is a slow, meticulous fighter as it is. yordenis Ugas isn't going to have to worry about that flashy speed like he would have had to with Pacquiao. Not saying that Errol Spence don't have speed. He definitely has speed, but he's not the flashy type. He's more of a meticulous, break you down type boxer, type of fighter. And I think in so many ways that kind of plays into yordenis Ugas' hands, because he's a guy who also likes to counter and be patient. Now, could we very much see a dud of a fight with this fight because they're both kind of counter punchers who like to feed off their opponents before throwing punches? Yeah. But I just don't see that. I think it's going to be a solid fight. I don't think it's going to be fight of the year candidate, but I think it's going to be a solid fight. I think you're going to see a really good technical fight, and I think you're going to see a better fight than what people are expecting from yordenis Ugas. Do I think he's going to win this fight? No, I do not. I think Errol Spence will show that he is Errol Spence, and I expect him to do business as he should. But I'm not going to sit there and discredit yordenis Ugas' skills. He's a very good fighter. A very good fighter. And should not be slept on. And I doubt Errol Spence is sleeping on him or sleeping on anybody. Listen, he hears the chatter. Like I said earlier, he hears the chatter. Which is why he made that post, what he made last week or a couple weeks ago. You know what I mean? He's lining them up. This is all the setup to fight with Terrence Crawford. Now, in another video here, I will be doing another topic video about Terrence Crawford on his own, about a fight that I think is really intriguing for him and could very well happen if he wants to take the risk. That fight is against Jerome Boots Ennis, but I'm going to talk about that in a separate video. But once again, Errol Spence, yordenis Ugas, welterweight title unification fight early 2022. I'm excited. I can't wait. I expect and hope that Errol Spence does business. I do not want anything to derail, nothing against yordenis Ugas. I do not want anything to derail the possibility. And to me, this is even more of this is as close as we're going to get to a Errol Spence fight, Terrence Bud Crawford. This is as close as we're going to get to an answer, a clear-cut answer. He's lining them up. You know he wants to be undisputed. What he just did was kind of the smart move. You know what I mean? People can say, oh, well, he came out of his last injury, the car wreck, fighting Danny Garcia. Come on. Everybody knows Danny Garcia is not Terrence Bud Crawford. Stop it. Nobody was saying that, but I'm just saying. You're expecting, Errol Spence to just come out and fight Terrence Bud Crawford after a serious injury, a retina injury, a vision injury. Obviously, your vision is very, very important to you in the boxing ring. You know what I mean? He hears the chatter, people. He's lining them up. You know what I mean? He's lining them up. We are going to get Errol Spence versus Terrence Bud Crawford. Because like I said, I got Errol Spence winning this fight. I don't got him knocking Ugas out. I got him winning by a close decision. I'll go 115, 113. Because I do think this is going to be a way more competitive fight than one with even some Errol Spence think it could be. Nobody I don't really think is giving Ugas a chance. Which is why they're up in arms as to why Errol Spence won't fight Terrence Bud Crawford next. But I think it's a smart move for Errol Spence. You got to knock some of this ring rust off. You're still fighting a top fighter. You're still fighting for a belt and you're unifying. I just hope that I'm not wrong and Errol don't play me and duck Crawford after this. There can be no more excuses after this, Errol. No more. You go fight Ugas, you beat Ugas, and then you go unify with Terrence. But that's only if Terrence don't fight Jerome Boots Ennis. And as I said, in a separate video, I'm going to talk about that. So stay tuned for that. It will be uploaded here later on the channel. But once again, guys, it's the 717 Sports Chat Live. I'm your host, Marcus J. Witherspoon. Errol Spence, Yordenis Ugas, announced for early 2022. Can't wait. I'm excited. Once again, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as well as hit that notification icon and hit the comment section. Let me know what you guys think about this fight. Give me your opinions, and as well as who do you guys have winning this fight? Are you going with Errol Spence, or are you going with Yordenis Ugas to pull off the big, massive upset? Hit the comment section. I want to hear from you guys. But once again, it's the 717 Sports Chat Live. I'm Marcus. I'm out of here, guys. Stay blessed and enjoy the rest of your evening.